Hi, welcome to Ipswich. Now today I'm here at Ipswich Station and I'm heading into Brisbane, and from Brisbane I'm heading to Ferny, and from Ferny I'm going to go and have a look at the Brisbane Tramway Museum. In most of my videos I generally know a bit about where I'm going. A lot of the times I'll admit it's blind leading the blind. I don't know a real lot about Brisbane. But fortunately, we've got an expert on Brisbane here, an old friend, John Coyle.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, not at all.
But he certainly knows a lot more about Brisbane than what I do. John's an old friend, so stay with us for the day.
One of the things I'm very disappointed, look at it that way, the whole day of it. But you don't say that on there because...
Now today, we're travelling on our go-karts.
Yeah.
Now if you haven't got a go-kart, you can use your Visa, MasterCard or American Express if you've got one. Now today, it's only 50 cents for the first 3 hours. Now we're going to be out for just about all day, so we'll get the first 50 cents. The first 3 hours will be 50 cents, and then coming home we'll probably have to pay another 50 cents. So the whole fare for the whole day is going to cost $1. Brisbane suburban trains are pretty good. Most of them have got toilets on them. Now we've got a slight change of plans for the day. What we're going to do when we get to Roma Street, we're going to take a quick trip out to the University of Queensland. We're going to go out there on Brisbane's new metro system. And once we get out there to the University of Queensland, we're going to come straight back to Roma Street. And once we get back to Roma Street, we're going to head out to Ferny Grove to see the trams. Anyway, stay with us. There's a footbridge over there.
Now arriving at Indooroopilly Station. Now arriving at Milton Station.
Milton platform left hand side.
All customers, please exit the train on arrival at Roma Street.
Train terminates here. All passengers must exit. Once again, please have with you all items on board.
Well, welcome to Roma Street here in Brisbane.
Roma Street Station.
Now this train normally goes right through to Caboolture, but they're doing some work on the tracks, so it terminates here at Roma Street. The time to get from Ipswich or East Ipswich, where we departed from, into Roma Street is about an hour. They've only got an escalator in one direction here, but there is a lift you can take. Now we've just arrived here at the new metro station, and the metro's along in about 1 minute, and we're going to the University of Queensland Lake Station. Now I'm interested to ride this new metro. Our new all electric metro. And just behind us here is the new Roma Street station. Yeah, it's a 14-minute ride out to the University of Queensland Lakes. Now, at present, we're at South Bank. Now, this is where you get off if you want to go to the beach. And that's the beach in the middle of Brisbane. Yes, the beach is artificially created. I've never been there, but I'd like to go and have a look to see how they've done it. Well, if you're like me and you haven't been to Brisbane in 20 years, you'll be surprised. There's been a lot of changes here. I remember back in the 1970s when people used to they used to say that they liked Brisbane because it was very much like a country town. Well, it was back then, but it's certainly changed today. It certainly is a big city today. Now, a lot of people will tell you that Brisbane Metro is not a real metro. Okay, it's not like it doesn't run on tracks that got steel wheels like most metros. But the good thing about it is that it is independent of traffic. So it's a fast way to get around the city. And the other thing about it, it's very quiet. It's run on battery operated, they're buses really, or battery operated metro cars. It's very good, and I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with it. Here we are at the end of the line. Now this tram has stopped here, and as you can see, the pantograph has come up and it's taken the charge from above, charging the batteries. A lot cleaner and quieter than diesel buses. Well, here we are back at Roma Street.
Yep.
Unfortunately, buses are replacing trains on the Ferny Grove line today. Now, where does the bus leave from? Thankfully, John knows the way. 124 and 125 this way. Anyway, it's not raining. That's one good thing about it. Imagine if it was raining. Anyway, it looks like we're heading in the right direction, fingers crossed. We're on the bus now to Fortitude Valley first, and then we're going to catch you, after that, we're going to catch a bus to Ferny Grove. Now, I was nearly going to tap on, but there's no need to tap on this bus because it's free. Buses are free today due to the rail bus replacement. Now 40 years ago I actually knew my way around Brisbane, but in that 40 years so much has changed. I see a few landmarks, but basically I haven't got a clue where I am. Now this looks like Fortitude Valley from my memory for 40 years ago. I know where we are now. We're at Fortitude Valley Station. And that's pretty easy to see.
Called Brunswick Street.
Used to be called Brunswick Street Station.
Yeah, for many years.
So they've just, I tell you what, when I get on a bus or a train, quite often it's empty. And now I know why. It's like working out public transport can be a nightmare sometimes. Anyway, here we are at a large shopping centre, and there's plenty of places to eat. Oh, that chicken schnitzel looks good. I might have a regular chicken schnitzel, thanks. That'll do the job. Now, I don't drink Coke or lemonade or anything, it's too sugary for me. But I noticed that there is a BWS over here. Now, I wonder if I can duck in there and grab a beer. We'll find out. Oh, g'day, mate.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. Can I get a can of beer here and just drink it over there?
No, you cannot.
Oh, you can't do that?
I can sell you that, but if you do that outside, you can receive a fine. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
But the lunch looks pretty good.
What family called?
Jeez. Chicken schnitzel. So I'll grab a cappuccino. Now I forgot to tell you, but it's Sunday the 21st of December, and a lot of Brisbane's trains have been shut down. There's rail replacement buses, and like, look at this. Like, how complicated is that? Anyway, not even John knows where he's going, I think. He's discussing it with the bus driver. Is this a free bus? Is this a free service?
It's a train, mate.
Sorry?
It's a train.
Oh, it's a train. Oh, it's a train.
Seriously, it's a train.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's a rail replacement. Yeah.
Trackless train.
Yeah, the trackless train. Oh, I don't know where I'm going.
Well, I know where you're going now.
Well, we get off at Bowen Hills and change and go up to Ferny Grove and see whether they do go. I think they do go to Tram, but they don't stop here for some reason. According to what the timetable there shows, you know.
I thought they did.
Well, anyway.
It's a three something. I don't know.
Anyway, we'll go to there and change and see what happens.
Well, they do certainly stop at Bowen Hills.
Hey?
They certainly do stop at Bowen Hills.
Oh, yes. That's where we're going now, make sure, you know.
So am I. Funny that.
Well,
That's it, funny enough, isn't it?
thank God for experts. I'll keep it up. I'll leave it all up to them. And when you're getting the experts disagreeing.
You know what an expert is, don't you?
Perform the drip under pressure.
That's the one.
Oh, the bus is full today, isn't it?
Check with the guys in the orange vests and I'll tell you which bus you're going to catch.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, that'd be right. I'll go down this way.
So what's this? Oh, this is
Bowen Hills.
Bowen Hills Station.
See the guy in the orange vest there?
Yep, thanks, matey.
You see him.
I'll go straight over there. Thank you.
You'll know which one you're going to catch.
Yep, good on you.
Hey, thanks very much. Have a good day. See ya. Oh, here we are. We got this one. This is hey.
Ferny Grove?
Yep, I take you to Mitchelton, you need to swap buses there, okay?
Oh, that's okay. We'll be right.
Where are we going to?
Mitchell
Take you
can
to
change
Mitchelton, I'll let you
buses.
know when we get there, and then you transfer onto a bus to Ferny Road.
That'll be okay.
We're going to go to Mitchelton, and we're going to and then we're going to transfer to another bus service.
No, touch it, no, touch it.
Now remember, this is all free. We just did a U-turn. Now I'm not sure what's going on or where we're going, but I'm not sure if the bus driver went the wrong way or the
That'd be funny.
or the U-turn or the U-turn is part of the voyage. But anyway, fingers crossed we'll get there. We're sort of in the Christmas holiday period, and I was just talking to John, and all of a sudden he remembered that he forgot to check the Tramway's website to see if they're open on the Sunday before Christmas. So after all this, well, I'm not sure where we are. Oh, Windsor. We're coming into Windsor. So we get off here, we change for another bus. Oh, well no, sorry. We keep going through to Mitchelton, then we change for another bus to take us through to Ferny Grove.
Express to Mitchelton.
Ah,
and then
that's what
those
you're
little stops down.
Yeah, that's
and
what I was
then
saying.
I do stops through to Mitchelton. So there's about a 5-minute wait from the time I'm due to the time he's arriving.
Yeah, well, we'll get the express one on the way back.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely right in guessing what
Well,
was
there it
going
is
on.
from the experts. The rest are on the right bus. Okay, here we are at Mitchelton.
And did we stop here? Is it the same stop?
Yeah, just wait here. Yeah, wait for the
Okay.
394.
It'll come along anyway.
Yeah, I'll let you know which one. The guy's there.
That's all good.
Mitchelton, if you're going to Ferny Grove or onwards from here, connect to 394.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
He's on his way.
Well, that's not ours, that's going to Roma Street. Ah yes, this is our bus, Ferny Grove. Well, we've only been waiting half an hour, but that doesn't matter.
Come on, you mate.
Hey, thanks very much. Thanks a lot. See you later. We were just sitting there and we were talking to one of the transport workers there, and he was telling me that he's an ex-interstate truck driver, and it just got too much for him, and he gave it up, he retired from it. And then he decided to take on driving buses, and he says it's just a lot easier than driving kids to school, than having 50 tonnes and flying along the highway at 110k. Anyway, he's working today. His job is a relief driver. Now he's got a bus just over the side there. I think you can see, there it is, just down there. They've given him a bus, and his job is to just sit there and wait. If something goes wrong, they give him a call and they tell him, jump in your bus and get moving. So he just sits there all day. A lot easier than driving a semi-trailer. Like, that'd be really hard work.
There's his bus.
There's his bus there. Well, here we are at Ferny Grove Station.
There we go. Okay, mate, thanks.
Thanks very much.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you. Now we're at the Ferny Grove bus stop, and we've still got a fair bit to go. In fact, we're going to walk the last section. John reckons it's about 10 or 15 minute walk. We had a look to see if we could find a bus going out here, but couldn't work out if the bus went there or stopped there or whatever. Anyway, we'll walk it out. We'll walk out there. But I just look over there, and there's the Ferny Grove Tavern just behind us there. So that might be the saviour of the day. And that's where it'll be.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Okay then. Now this street along here is called Tramway Street,
That's right.
so we shouldn't be far from it.
Oh, we're not. Now let's have a look at what time they go. I wouldn't be surprised if not enough.
This might get us a bus back to Roma Street. Well, we just had a look at the timetable. During the week there's only about 7 services a day, and Sunday there's nothing. Don't tell me to get back to Roma Street we've got to go through all that again.
No.
Oh well, that's public transport. looks nice and cool down there. Oh,
What a relief.
there's the tram. It's open. Oh.
Well, where's the door? Here.
What a relief.
Feels good.
Ah, isn't that beautiful? I think they call them a toast rack tram, don't they, John? Now I actually remember these in Sydney when I was a kid. And I also remember those trams in Brisbane. Now it was back about 1969 and I was still at school at the time, and a friend from school and myself, we hitchhiked from Sydney up to Brisbane. It was all right back in those days. Either Malat either wasn't even born or he was just a kid, so it was safe. Anyway, we hitchhiked up to Brisbane, and I remember we caught one of those trams, I think out to Indooroopilly, and then from Indooroopilly or somewhere around there we got a train through to Ipswich. Then from Ipswich we hitchhiked back to Sydney along the New England Highway. And I remember him saying that they were going to get rid of all the trams in Brisbane. I didn't know, but it must have been months later, a few months later, all the trams disappeared. And you thanks, mate? Is that possible?
Yep. $15.
$15?
Alright. There you go.
Right, ready. It's off. You're ready to go and have a look at the other stuff?
Let's go look at the other car.
Oh, easy chance. Ah, beautiful. So reliable, so simple. Ah, beautiful.
Brief anyway. Well, this car is number 65. It was built in 1921, and this was at a time when the Tramway company was operating the tramway system, were reaching the end of their contract to operate, as they were doing a fairly poor job of it, and so the council wished to take over the system. And so they were still contractually obliged to build new trams, so they built the cheapest and nastiest things they could, which is wheels, floor, seats and roof. This design of tram had in fact been outlawed in some parts of the world already at that point, mostly due to the fact that the conductor has to cling onto the side of the tram and walk along, selling the tickets and collecting the fares in sunshine, in storm, in rain, whatever the conditions. The passengers weren't too much better off. All you have is a canvas blind that you can only pull down on one side anyway, because people still have to get on and off on the other. And the motorman had even less, an apron in front of them, and that was it. It wasn't uncommon for the motormen to, with their big oil coats, to stuff newspaper down them to try and keep warm during cold storms. But this car is what they called a 10-bench tram. It's called that because it has 10 benches. However, these cars were colloquially known as toast racks, due to, if you see one of these go past and it's chocker full with people standing in rows in each section clinging onto the bars above your heads, it looks like a toast rack moving past. Not sure how common a toast rack is nowadays. I've only seen them once, I believe. But anyway, Brisbane put up with these nasty things up until the early 50s. However, this car survived merely because it was one of the last to be scrapped, and so in 1959 Queensland was celebrating its centenary of being separate from New South Wales, and they held a big cavalcade of transport. They wanted an old tram, so they pulled this car out of storage, gave it a lick of paint, ran it in that cavalcade, and from then on, people, due to popular demand, it was available for hire from anyone even. So in the final years of the tramway system, when newer trams were being burnt and scrapped, this car was going out for a little party every month or so. So yeah. Now, when a tram is in motion, on to safety now. When a tram is in motion, we ask that everyone remain seated. We also ask that you keep all your arms and legs and everything within the confines of the tram car itself. And we also ask that you do not play with the bells, although they are how I, as the conductor, communicate to the motorman at the front platform end. However, if you really must insist, you can have a play with them now if you so wish. Any takers?
Yeah, I might have a ring. Oh, that was fun. One question. I was born in 1951, so that makes me the oldest on the tram, I think. But anyway, I remember this tram, these toast rack trams in Sydney. Now they must have lasted a little bit. I was on one with my grandma on a really wet day, and the wind was blowing. They had the canvas down, and the conductor was walking along, and I was only about 6, but I thought, what a cool job. What better job can you get for that?
He was obsessed with toast racks for some reason, and in fact when they built more enclosed cars, they in some points even preferred using toast racks over them. Toast rack cars in Sydney continued in service almost until the very end of the system's life itself.
63?
Sydney, yes. Sydney, well, I think so, I'm sure. But Sydney had the largest tramway system in the Southern Hemisphere, at its peak at least. Anyway, let's have a ride.
Thanks. Well, I'm glad I was right. I thought that might have been a dream, but it really did happen.
Give me a joke.
Shortest train ride I've ever been on, but the most interesting. Well, that was a little bit of a bumpy ride, a little bit of a noisy ride, but I tell you what, it was much more graceful than riding on a bus. Ah, so this is a 1936 model. Sorry again, what class was this?
This is a baby dreadnought.
Oh, baby dreadnought, sorry, you're right.
A baby
Baby dreadnought. It's like a dreadnought,
Oh.
but they made it smaller.
Oh, it's because of the second built after the Second World War or something.
It was built during the World War, but
Oh,
that's not
okay.
the reason it's so small. It was designed to operate on the very, very steep lines of
Up
Brisbane.
to, what's the, where did it go up the hill to, what's his name?
I've completely forgotten.
Just where the park is at Roma Street.
Yeah.
Up in there, there's a street along there, ran up into there.
Okay.
Because it had quite a climb.
I think it was Edward Street and Gregory
Yeah,
Terrace,
it would have
but
gone up.
they were,
Gregory Terrace, isn't it, that they went to?
yeah, they had grades of up to 1 in 8.5, so you definitely needed a short tram like this to
To
not...
get around, to negotiate it.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll head off. So
Thanks very much. Can you, can someone just pull the bell thing, and so I can just get a photograph?
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he drives off.
That's right. Hey,
I'm in the motorman's cab right now.
Oh, I don't think it's going to happen.
thanks again, mate. Thanks very much. Great. Thanks for all the work you put into it.
No problem.
Anyway, that's all, folks, for another week. I'm going to say goodbye now. And before I say goodbye completely, I'd like to thank all the people who work here or volunteer here at the Tram Museum. This is fantastic what you've done here. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'd also like to thank all the bus drivers and all the train drivers and everyone in public transport. It's a Sunday today, and without you people, an old bloke like me wouldn't be able to get out and have any fun. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye now. Goal, thanks, mate. Fantastic. All I've had is about 2 litres of water today, and water just doesn't quench your thirst. It's about 35 degrees, so John reckons, and the humidity is about 120%. Anyway, I'll say it again, I'll see you next week. Bye now.